Good morning, everybody. This is Libby with Organize It. And so I wanted to continue our series of allergies and pollen and spring. So I've done a couple live videos covering how to help us prevent these horrible allergies that we're having here in Southwest Florida. And I started with one, and it kind of snowballed into another live and blog post to really help us fight those allergies right now. And as I did the second one, it actually gave me an idea for a third one. And so we're just going to keep going with what are some of the things that we can do in our home to really help our allergies this spring season. And the reason that I am so interested in this topic is because I suffer from really, really bad allergies. And I've had to make a ton of changes to really help myself get through allergy season, but not just help myself when it comes to taking medicine, but help with how I'm supposed to be taking care of certain things in my house. And so today I wanted to cover, we covered it briefly, but I wanted to cover more in depth what it means to have a clean bed at your home. And so how can we sleep tight and breathe easy during this allergy season? And so it's really important to wash our bedding to keep it free of allergens. And so I have some tips today that are going to really help you in this category. And I found it so interesting when I was doing the research and putting together this article and this video that we spend 1/3 of our lives in bed. And so that to me was pretty high. I was like, wow, like I love my bed and I feel like I don't get enough sleep. But the fact that we spend on average 1/3 of our lives in bed is pretty interesting. And so we need to look at how are we taking care of our bed and our bedding when we're spending so much of our time in it. So the first thing I want to cover is, why do we want or how does washing our bedding to help with allergies, how does it work? Why does it help? And so the first thing I wanted to cover is those icky little dust mites, right? So they're microscopic creatures that live in warm, damp, and humid environments. And what better than that than in our beds here in Southwest Florida? So they feed off of our dead skin cells. Ew. And it really causes allergens and asthma symptoms. They can cause us to have allergy and asthma symptoms. By washing our bed regularly, we can remove these dust mites. So this is one thing that we started talking about in last week's blog to help with our allergens. And I briefly covered the bedroom or bedding, so I wanted to go into depth with it. So washing our bedding will help us remove the other allergens besides the dust mites. It will remove pollen, pet dander, and mold spores. So these allergens can cling to our bedding and cause our symptoms that we have and cause them to really flare up. So if you wake up one morning or you have a hard time sleeping, maybe we need to really look at our linens, our bedding, the bed cover, and how long since it's been appropriately cleaned. You want to make sure that we're washing our bedding once a week at minimum in very hot water. And I have some other tips, but once a week is important. But if you have other things in your home or in your environment that could contribute, it would contribute to have this more often, washing it more often. So when I say if you have other things in your home, those would be like extra pets. So like in our house, we have Coco, and she's like 150-pound Mastiff Great Dane mix. She doesn't sleep in our bed, but because she's such a large dog, it would contribute to us having to wash it more. The other thing that can contribute to having to wash your bed more is all of my children love to get in my bed. And they love to bring their shoe. Well, this is going to be funny. My daughter goes to Bright Beginnings. And so they used to have all this mulch in their playground, and she would bring that into my bed and on her socks, and also would love to eat in my bed. And so look at your environment, and some of the things in your environment would require you to wash it more than once a week. Once a week is the minimum base. It's where we want to start. When we add our environmental factors into that, that's when we can look at, oh, maybe I need to do it twice a week. And maybe we are not going to wash it twice a week. Maybe we just have a set of sheets that we can change out twice a week. So look at your environment. Look at how often should I be doing this? If once a week is a minimum, then maybe I need to be doing it twice a week, or even more if I have more pets or kids, or I like to keep my windows open. The other, in addition to washing our bedding, here's something that I know we don't do very often. We need to look at having our mattresses vacuumed on a regular basis. Yes, vacuuming it is a huge help when it comes to allergens. So are you stripping the bed and are you vacuuming it appropriately? Do you have an appropriate cover on it? So these are great tips. So we want to make sure that we're vacuuming that mattress on a regular basis. We want to make sure we're using very hot water, at least 130 degrees, to wash our bedding, to make sure we're killing any of those dust mites, getting rid of the pollen, the pet dander. We want to make sure we're using a mild detergent that is free of any dyes or perfumes or fragrances. A mild detergent, because anything else can really irritate your allergies or trigger them. And then we also, and this was something I was guilty of, we want to make sure we thoroughly dry it. Don't take it out if it's still damp, because what happens is if we're taking the bedding out damp, it can promote growth of mold and bacteria. So I was guilty of that, taking it out just a little damp because it's humid, and let me hang it up to dry. So conclusion is we want to make sure we're washing our bedding a minimum of once a week. I know this sounds like a very boring topic, but we want to make sure we're doing this once a week so that we wake up well, we wake up allergy free, we got a great night's sleep. We want to make sure that we are vacuuming that mattress when we're removing the bedding. And I did post in this live a link to our blog with a bunch of sources where we got the information from, so that way you can better educate yourself on this allergy topic and what are the things that you can do to currently help your allergies, because right now in Southwest Florida it is allergy season and the pollen is everywhere. It's on our cars, you can see it on our driveways, and so we have to work just a little bit extra harder to get us through this allergy season. So if you have any questions at all, or guess what, you don't want to do any of this stuff yourself, no worries. You can call Organize It and we're here to help vacuum that mattress and wash those beddings. So again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us, and have an organized day.